Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how financial markets actually work. And spoiler alert, it has very little to do with the indicators most people use. It's all about a hidden game played by some very smart money. You've probably seen this happen 100 times, right? You're watching a chart, and suddenly the price just reverses on a dime from a level that looks like it came out of thin air. There's no support, no resistance, nothing. You're just left scratching your head thinking, what did I miss? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not random at all, not even close. What you're actually seeing is a hunt for the market's hidden fuel. And that fuel is called liquidity. So let's get into it. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the market's hidden fuel. Then we'll get into decoding the order blocks. After that, the art of refining, choosing your best bet, and finally, we'll tie it all together with the power of confluence. Basically, we're going to build a whole new way for you to look at the charts from the ground up. Okay, first up, the market's hidden fuel. We've got to understand the engine that really drives price. So, what is liquidity, really? Think of it like this. It's big pools of money, mostly stop-loss orders just sitting there on the chart. Now, the big players, the market makers and their algorithms, they need to fill gigantic positions. And to do that, they need to dip into these pools. They don't just wait for the market to come to them. They actively hunt this liquidity down. It's the fuel that makes the whole market move. And get this, algorithms are running something like 75% of all trades. They are literally programmed to create volatility and snatch up liquidity. That's why you see those sudden, crazy flash wicks. They're not accidents. They're engineered to grab all those stop losses right before the real move begins. So the big takeaway is this: the market isn't a random walk. It's a carefully engineered game. And understanding the hunt for liquidity, that's your first real edge. All right, so if we know why the market is moving to hunt liquidity, the next question is, how do we see where it's going? Well, we look for footprints. And that brings us to decoding the order blocks, finding the footprints of smart money. Okay, the first and most common footprint you'll see is a classic order block, or OB for short. It's super simple. It's just the last up candle right before a big dump, or the last down candle right before a massive pump. This is basically a big flashing sign that says, hey, an institution placed a huge order right here. Now, what happens when one of those order blocks fails? That's when you get what's called a breaker block. Imagine a floor that's supposed to hold price up, but then, whoosh, price smashes right through it. That old floor doesn't just disappear. It becomes the new ceiling. That's a breaker block. It's a failed support that flips into new resistance, or vice versa. Super powerful stuff. But here's where we get to the really good stuff, the hidden order block, or HOB. This is the real alpha. A HOB is an order block or breaker that gets covered up by a really fast, aggressive price move. That move leaves behind what we call a fair value gap, or an FVG. And the HOB's power comes from the fact that it's hidden. Most retail traders just see the gap, but they completely miss the treasure chest buried right behind it. Check out this ATOM chart. It's a perfect example. See that big, fast move down? That created a fair value gap. Now, most people would be focused on that gap, but the real money, the algorithms, they're targeting that little order block hidden right at the start of the move. And look what happens. Price comes all the way back up, taps that hidden level perfectly, and then reverses hard. It's surgical. I love this quote because it really nails the concept. If you're a thief and discover a pile of gold, but right beside it lies a diamond, and the only way to unlock the diamond is to use the gold as the key, what do you choose? It's a no-brainer, right? A regular order block is the pile of gold. Everyone sees it. But the hidden order block, that's the diamond. It's more valuable because it's overlooked. Okay, we know what to look for now. But sometimes these zones are huge. We can't just trade a giant block on the chart. We need to get precise. And that's where we get into our next section, the art of refining. Think of refining like using a super-powered microscope. You start way out on a high time frame, like the weekly or the 3-day chart, to find your big area of interest. Then you start zooming in. You go to the daily, maybe some odd time frames like the 22-hour or 12-hour. Why? Because that's where institutions hide things from the average trader. You keep drilling down, getting more and more granular until you find that one single, ultra-precise level. And this SOL chart shows you exactly why this is a game changer. To the average trader, this is just a big, ugly, long wick. It's just noise. But when you know how to refine, you can zoom into that wick and see the exact level that price reacted to. It's the difference between seeing a blurry mess and seeing the machine working with crystal clear precision. All right, so you've done the work, you've refined your charts, and now you have maybe 2 or 3 potential levels. So which one do you take? How do you choose your best bet? Because let me tell you, not all of these levels are created equal. This table right here is your mental checklist. It's super straightforward. The levels you want are the ones that are strong. You see them on multiple high time frames. You want the ones that are hidden behind FBGs. And, crucially, you want them to be fresh and untouched. On the flip side, you want to avoid the obvious levels everyone sees, the ones that have been tested over and over, or the ones stuck in the middle of a range. So let's just hammer these rules home. Rule 1. Higher time frame always wins. A weekly level will beat a 4-hour level every time. Rule 2. The more refined a level is, the more powerful it is. And Rule 3, and this is a big one, once a level has been tested, it gets weaker. Think of it like a wall. Every time price hits it, a few bricks fall out. Eventually, it's gonna break. Okay, we're at the final step. This is where we take a good setup and make it a great one. We've found our level. Now it's time to stack the odds in our favor. This is the power of confluence. Confluence is just looking for multiple reasons that all agree. So you found your hidden order block. Great. Does it also line up with a key Fibonacci level? Is it in a premium or discount zone? Did price just have a big market structure shift? The more of these things you can stack on top of your level, the stronger your trade idea becomes. You're looking for that perfect storm. And here's a little secret weapon for your confluence checklist. You know how everyone talks about the 0.618 fib level? Well, here's a pro tip. Algorithms love the 0.705 level. It's often called the algorithm fib because it's a sweet spot they target. When you see your order block line up with the 0.705, pay very close attention. This CRV chart is a textbook example of what I'm talking about. First, we have a big, powerful weekly order block. That's our foundation. Then we pull our Fibonacci tool, and what do you know? Both the 0.618 and that sneaky 0.705 level fall right inside our weekly zone. That's confluence. That's an A-plus setup right there. And this AR chart really puts it all together. You can see the whole process laid out. You start with a high timeframe demand zone down at the bottom. You identify breaker blocks, you plan out different scenarios based on market structure, and you refine your entries to precise points. This isn't just drawing lines on a chart anymore. This is building a complete, logical trading plan. So after all this, the charts shouldn't look random to you anymore. They should look like a map showing you exactly where the hidden pools of liquidity are. The game is no longer a mystery. It's about seeing the map and figuring out where the hunt is going next. So the only real question is, now that you can see the hidden game, how are you going to play it?